One thing I very much don't like about the iPhone 4S camera is how close it is to the subject when it's doing video. The 4, I could hold it in this exact same spot and it wasn't so up in my grill. So if you see high definition facial features, which you were not hoping to see, then please forgive me. This is a vlog. I haven't done one in a while. I usually only do them when I go to Cafe Rio, which is a rather expensive Mexican grill, and since I have been in lack of spendable funds lately, rather expendable funds, I have not visited it often. That being said, though, I did take a Cafe Rio visit today, and I have for you a beverage as a souvenir. Here, drink up. It's Diet Coke. No, but really what this beverage is an amazing piece of art. Now, you may think, why is that? It's merely a cup with a beverage and ice in it. But that, my friends, is where you're mistaken. And don't feel bad if that's what you supposed. It's a very common misconception in society. But this is filled with a whole lot more than traditional ice cubes. It is a livelihood, and that would be pellet ice. Now, pellet ice is actually properly known as nugget ice, but I don't call it nugget ice because that sounds like something you would get at McDonald's, and that is not appetizing to me. So nugget ice is what I not call it. I call it pellet ice, and it's phenomenal. Now, you may be wondering, well, what is pellet ice? I know there's a lot of weird Europeans that watch my vlogs that don't even use ice. If I lived in a society without ice, I would literally die. When I went to Europe, I would ask for ice, and it was almost like I was inconveniencing them. Many places did not even serve ice. You couldn't get ice in your drink. They'd bring you like a semi-cold beverage. Sucks. Now, many of you English people may not find anything wrong with it, but that's because you haven't really realized the true power and the amazing viscosity of that which is an ice cube. So, for those of you that don't know what pellet or nugget ice is, here you go. See that? There are many little beads of ice, which is great when you drink it because, A, if you don't drink it with just a straw and a cup, you can then eat the ice cubes once you've completed. But it also brings a nicer, cooler consistency. You don't get hot and warm spots in your beverage. It stays one temperature. And furthermore, there's not as much condensate on the side of the cup because of this ice. It's an amazing invention. However, I must say that Cafe Rio is a little bit of a hit and miss. Today, and you can't see this because the sucky ice cube sank to the bottom, but it was a mixture of this pellet ice as well as the traditional ice cube. Now, the traditional ice cubes in this pellet ice is like sticking a bomb in a box of gold. You wouldn't do it, right? It's like, okay, so I don't even know how to expound it. It was very infuriating when I was like, yay, pellet ice, and saw a couple big chunks come out, but I suppose I can't complain as some pellet ice is better than none. But anyway, back to a society that doesn't use ice, Europe. That's weird. Start doing that. Drinks are amazingly better when there are beverages with ice inside of them. Now, granted, you will get more condensate than you would without it. However, it's a mere burden in comparison to the payoffs. It's exponential. For example, if I was born... Did you know that ice wasn't even invented till like 200 years ago? Even less than that, like 150, 100 years ago. I would have died. Literally, if I was born in 1900 and there was no ice cubes in my fridge, I would be born, I would breastfeed for some duration of time. I would then turn the age of 3 or some age wherein I could retrieve my own beverage, one that was not served to me by my mother and or father and or both, or lesbian parents or gay parents. This is 1900. That happens. Today, and also back then. I'm just trying to please everyone here. Okay, so I'm 3 years old. I'm in my kitchen or my cottage, wherever my home is located. Did they call it a home back then? My dwelling. My dwelling was located. I'm pretty sure they lived in houses back then. There weren't caves. Well, there were caves, but they've been long since been abolished. Anywho, so I'm 3 years old. I go to the fridge, or maybe there isn't a fridge. I go to the faucet, and it's winter, all right? So the water is already pretty cold. But you get the cold water, and in 5 minutes, it's not cold anymore. I would literally die. I would die. If I was 3 years old and I was like, Mom, get me a cup of water. Or I probably wouldn't say it like that because this is 1900. I would say, Mother. I don't know why I'm doing it in that accent. I'm a pioneer. I'd say, Mother, please. Mother. Mother. Seymour. Mother. You're embarrassing me. I would say, Mother, fetch me but a pail of water for mine thirst. That's what I'd say in 1900. My mom would bring me a cup of just water, and I would literally explode. The end.